Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Jade Jagger is a British jewelry designer, model, and artist, best known as the daughter of Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger and 1970s fashion icon Bianca Jagger. Born on October 21, 1971. In Paris, France, Jade has lived a life deeply intertwined with art, fashion, and rock and roll culture. Early life and background: growing up in the shadow of fame, Jade spent her early years surrounded by the world's most influential artists, musicians, and designers. Her parents' glamorous yet tumultuous relationship made her a familiar face in high society from a young age. After her parents' divorce, she spent much of her childhood in New York and London, splitting time between her father's rock lifestyle and her mother's humanitarian and social circles. Career in art and design: Jade Jagger carved out her own creative path, first gaining recognition as a model and muse in the 1990s. However, her true passion lay in art and design. She founded her own jewelry line, Jade Inc., known for blending bohemian luxury with modern sophistication. Her work often features bold, organic shapes, gemstones, and gold, reflecting a mix of rock glamour and spiritual influences. In 2001, she became the creative director of Gerard, one of the world's oldest jewelry houses, where she revitalized the brand with a fresh, youthful edge. Beyond jewelry, Jade has also explored interior design, collaborating with developers to create luxurious residential spaces, including projects in London, Marrakesh, and Goa. Personal life: Jade has lived a vibrant and international life. She has two daughters, Assisi and Amba, from her long-term relationship with artist Piers Jackson, and later married Adrian Fileri, a DJ and art director, in 2012. In 2014, Jade became a grandmother at the age of 42, when her daughter Assisi gave birth, making Mick Jagger a great-grandfather. Style and legacy: known for her effortless boho chic aesthetic, Jade Jagger embodies the fusion of rock heritage and artistic independence. She has been featured in major fashion magazines and remains a fixture in the worlds of art and design. Her life reflects both the glamour and grounded creativity that come from being part of one of music's most legendary families, while still forging her own unique identity. Artistic vision and jewelry design: Jade Jagger's design philosophy combines heritage craftsmanship with a free-spirited, contemporary style. She often draws inspiration from her travels, her multicultural upbringing, and her spiritual interests, notably her time spent living in India. In Goa, where she once owned a home, she immersed herself in local art and culture, which deeply influenced her jewelry aesthetic. Her pieces frequently feature raw-cut gemstones, organic forms, and handmade textures, celebrating imperfection as part of natural beauty. Her designs are known for blending luxury and bohemia. Gold, diamonds, turquoise, and sapphires appear in fluid, almost tribal forms. Each piece tells a story of artistry and independence, bridging the worlds of fine jewelry and modern art. During her tenure as creative director of Gerard, 2001 to 2006, she helped transform the centuries-old royal jeweler into a more fashion-forward brand. Jade's collections introduced edgier, rock-inspired motifs while maintaining the brand's traditional British elegance. Under her direction, Gerard attracted a younger, trend-conscious clientele, securing her reputation as a visionary designer who could balance tradition and innovation. Interior and lifestyle design: beyond jewelry, Jade expanded into interior design and lifestyle branding. She launched the concept of Jade Jagger for You, a collaboration with property developer John Hitchcocks and designer Philippe Starck, creating modern, art-inspired living spaces in cities such as New York, Mumbai, and Marrakesh. Her interiors reflect the same sensibilities as her jewelry: earthy luxury, vibrant color, and bohemian glamour. Media presence and cultural influence throughout the years, Jade Jagger has been a style icon in her own right. Her presence in the fashion world, whether on runways, at elite events, or in design collaborations, has earned her admiration for her understated yet sophisticated elegance. She's been featured in publications like Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, and Tatler. Often celebrated for her effortless blend of rock heritage and artistic individuality. Unlike many celebrity children who seek the spotlight, Jade has cultivated a quieter form of fame, letting her work speak for itself. Her artistry and entrepreneurship have made her a respected name in luxury design circles. Not merely as Mick Jagger's daughter, but as a creative force with her own distinct identity. Personal and family life: Jade's family life has often reflected her independent nature. She has maintained close ties with her father, Mick Jagger, while carving her own path outside of his fame. Her two daughters, Assisi and Amba Jackson, have also occasionally appeared in the media, carrying forward the Jagger legacy into a new generation. Her 2012 marriage to Adrian Fileri, held at the luxurious Ainhoe Park in England, was a star-studded affair attended by family, musicians, and artists from across the world. In later years, Jade has divided her time between London and Ibiza, continuing her work in design and embracing a relaxed, family-centered lifestyle. Legacy and impact: Jade Jagger represents a bridge between rock and roll royalty and artistic modernity. She has used her famous background not as a shield but as a foundation for creative exploration. Whether through jewelry, interiors, or her influence on bohemian luxury aesthetics, Jade's work embodies the spirit of individuality and freedom. Today, she continues to produce bespoke jewelry and art pieces under her own name, keeping her brand intimate, soulful, and true to her roots. Her legacy lies not only in design but in proving that artistic identity can thrive beyond fame, grounded in craftsmanship, culture, and creativity. Time in India and spiritual influences: one of the most defining chapters in Jade Jagger's life unfolded in India, particularly in Goa, where she lived for several years in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Drawn by the region's laid-back, artistic energy, Jade immersed herself in its culture, spirituality, and craftsmanship. Goa became her creative sanctuary, a place where she could escape the pressures of fame and reconnect with art, nature, and herself. During this time, Jade began experimenting with local artisans, learning traditional techniques of jewelry making and incorporating Indian materials such as semi-precious stones, silver, and gold filigree into her designs. She often spoke about how India taught her to appreciate imperfection and organic beauty, principles that became central to her design ethos. She also absorbed the country's spiritual atmosphere, developing an interest in meditation, yoga, and Eastern philosophy. This period profoundly influenced not only her art but her worldview, as she sought balance between Western luxury and Eastern simplicity. Many of her collections since then have reflected this duality, mixing earthy textures with high-end elegance and spiritual symbolism with modern design. Art, exhibitions, and collaborations: Jade Jagger is not limited to jewelry and interiors. She has also explored painting and visual art. Her creative output includes collaborative exhibitions that blend fine art, photography, and sculpture. In London, she has hosted private gallery shows featuring her work alongside other contemporary artists, often themed around feminine energy, nature, and transcendence. She has collaborated with a range of high-profile brands and designers, including Belvedere Vodka, Elton John's AIDS Foundation, and various fashion houses, where she designed limited edition jewelry and accessories. Her pieces have been worn by celebrities and collectors who appreciate her distinct style, luxurious yet organic, bold yet soulful philosophy and lifestyle. Unlike many who grew up in the glare of celebrity, Jade Jagger has maintained a low-profile, bohemian lifestyle, preferring authenticity over fame. She often describes herself as a creative nomad, moving between art studios, beaches, and design workshops. Her homes in Ibiza, London, and Goa reflect her artistic personality, filled with vibrant colors, eclectic furniture, art from her travels, and handcrafted jewelry pieces in progress. She believes strongly in female empowerment through creativity, encouraging women to express individuality through adornment. To her, jewelry is not just decoration, it's an expression of spirit and identity, a deeply personal art form that tells stories across generations. Modern work and continuing legacy. In recent years, Jade has continued producing limited edition jewelry collections, maintaining exclusivity rather than expanding into mass production. Her brand remains boutique and intimate, appealing to clients who value authenticity and artisanal craftsmanship. She often releases handmade pieces directly through her own platform, emphasizing a direct connection between artist and collector. Beyond design, Jade occasionally appears at art and fashion events and supports charitable causes, particularly those related to the environment, the arts, and women's education. As the daughter of one of the most famous rock stars in history, Jade Jagger could have easily lived in the shadow of her father's legacy. Instead, she has built a creative empire defined by independence, spirituality, and artistry, a life as colorful and timeless as the jewels she creates. Family influence and early exposure to fame. Being born into the Jagger family meant that Jade Jagger's life was extraordinary from the very beginning. Her father, Mick Jagger, was already one of the most famous rock stars in the world when she was born, and her mother, Bianca Jagger, was a Nicaraguan-born socialite, model, and human rights advocate. Jade's childhood unfolded amid the wild glamour and cultural revolution of the 1970s, a time when art, music, and fashion collided in a dazzling display of creativity and excess. As a child, Jade was a fixture in the celebrity world. She attended events with her parents, met iconic figures such as Andy Warhol, David Bowie, and Salvador Dali, and was surrounded by artists, musicians, and intellectuals. Despite this dazzling environment, her parents tried to ensure she remained grounded. Mick Jagger, though often on tour, maintained a close relationship with his daughter and encouraged her artistic leanings. Bianca, meanwhile, instilled in Jade a deep awareness of culture, politics, and global issues, encouraging her to think beyond fame and luxury. When her parents divorced in 1978, Jade was only 7 years old. The separation exposed her to different lifestyles, her mother's sophisticated, activist world and her father's high-energy, rock-and-roll universe. She spent time between New York, London, and Paris, developing a cosmopolitan worldview that would later define her design sensibility. Education and early career beginnings. Jade attended the St. Mary's Convent School in Ascot, and later studied art and jewelry design. Even in her teenage years, she was drawn to painting, sculpting, and designing objects by hand. Her creative eye and instinct for style caught the attention of fashion editors, leading her to model in her early 20s for brands and magazines, though she often admitted she preferred being behind the scenes rather than in front of the camera. She briefly considered becoming a painter before finding her true calling in jewelry design, where she could combine artistry, craftsmanship, and personal symbolism. Her early collections were small, handcrafted, and sold through exclusive boutiques in London and New York, quickly gaining attention for their raw beauty and individuality. The influence of rock and roll aesthetics. Growing up as Mick Jagger's daughter, Jade was steeped in the visual language of rock culture, glamour, rebellion, and freedom. These elements subtly appear in her designs: dagger pendants, skull motifs, and bold gemstone arrangements that evoke both power and sensuality. She once described her creative approach as
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.